Hi, this is Margo. This is Sunday evening, March the 1st, 2020, and I'm going to do a short show for my Subscribe Star members. We have new methane data here for today, for Sunday. We're going to look at that. We're going to do our daily slideshow update, and I'm going to go ahead and show the weekly data from NOAA. I've been showing it daily, and then you'll get a sneak peek on, from what I'm going to put up on YouTube. Then I want to look at earthquakes briefly, and then we'll do our Bible reading. I am so tired. I was so stressed out this week, and I hardly slept, and I am just exhausted. And I don't feel sick, I'm just tired, and I just need to rest. So I will do my YouTube update probably tomorrow, hopefully. So let's look at the NOAA data first. Here's the Met-1 satellite from the morning from yesterday. The mean was 1887, and the highest reading was 2509. So that's getting on up there. And we're seeing this fuchsia color move down further south all over the place. And in the afternoon, we have a lot of missing data with the white things. The mean was 1883. And the highest reading was 2470. The Met-2 satellite in the morning, the mean was 1868, and the highest reading was 2398. And the Met-2 satellite in the afternoon, the mean was 1868, and the highest reading was 2331. So we can see this fuchsia color really coming in here in this Baffin Bay by Greenland and all over the Arctic too. So we're going to plug those numbers in on the spreadsheet. Here it is with the numbers. And divided them by 4, and so our reading from this week was 1876.50. So overall it went up 3 parts per billion since last week. And so we have 3 weeks in a row where it's gone up exponentially, and the week before it went up 7.5. The week before that, it went up 2.75. So, in the last year, since March 1st of last year, it's gone up, since here, 19.25 parts per billion. And so that's awful. And normally it goes up, from what I saw, on the NOAA, where they track the methane readings, it's usually 8 to 10 parts per billion a year. So this is twice that. So on March the 1st, it was of last year, so a year ago today, it was 1857.25. And it had gone up, so it never got back down to where it started a year ago. It never did. So it's on the rise. And here's the daily. So it didn't go up from yesterday or from the 28th. They're a day behind from my reporting date. But it had gone up 14.25 on the 28th and 3.75 on the 27th. So in 2 days it went up 8 parts per billion. And it had gone down some. But in 1 week it went up 3. In 2 weeks it went up 10.5. And in 3 weeks it went up 13.5. And in the last year it's gone up 19.25. So in almost 3 weeks, in 3 weeks it's gone up that much, 13.25, and in a year it's gone up 19.25. So if it keeps increasing like that, we're in a huge world of hurt. You know, if we don't have some valleys, if it keeps going up like that, we're going to be in a world of hurt. Nothing, anyway. I don't think we're going to make it past the summer for many reasons, and some of the reasons are the coronavirus related, and you know, the economy, and the global heating as a result of all the industries shutting down for a while and all of that. So I seriously don't think we're going to make it past the summer, and if we do, it's going to be a world we don't want to live in. The ones who die are going to be the lucky ones. That's what I think. So here I am doing all this prepping. You know, I mean, whatever. I'll go when God wants me to go. So here we've got methane from today, Sunday the 1st. We've got the Arctic view and surface level pulled up. There's our color ledger. And so here's where it left off Saturday with this high release off near Severnaya Zemlya and off the coast of Russia, basically. And then Norway and Finland and Sweden are this northern part's heating back up. Now look at what this does now. It's moving. It's like moving in different directions here. And so it's like it's the seafloor is like bubbling up with all, and right at the end of the forecast period it's coming up off of this island. Watch right where my pointer is. There we go. That's on Thursday. So that's a new release, high release coming up there. And then Alaska is still bad. Oh, I forgot to show your 2-meter temperature anomaly. I'm gonna slide that in here so we have a reference. So here's the 2-meter temperature anomaly map from today, and it's still red up here in Russia and Siberia, but it's blue and into the purple coming across the Arctic, and then it's brown down here in Canada and going down through the Midwest of the US. So the world is up 0.7 degrees higher than normal. The northern hemisphere is up 1.2 C. The Arctic is up 0.6 C, so it's gone way down in the last week, and it's because of all this cold area that they're factoring in, and over here on the Bering Strait. The tropics are up 0.6 C, the southern hemisphere is up 0.2 C, and the Antarctic is up 0.4 C. So overall it's cooler, but we still have a lot of red areas. So let's get back over here to methane now. Now let's look at the North Pole. And you know, I've seen these articles about, oh, nitrogen dioxide, or you know, pollution's not as bad in China since they shut everything down, but methane's just as bad. I don't see it any better over here. I did for a little while, but we still have this white spot popping up over here, and it's moved up. now it's covering all of northern China and all of Korea, and I don't see that it's gotten better methane wise. And if you look at nitrogen dioxide over here on CAMS, it's still off the charts in China. It's still the highest, so I don't know where they're getting their numbers from. And I saw something that said carbon dioxide was down. If you look at carbon dioxide, it's black over here. So it might be, you know, better than it would have been, but, you know, not that much. I mean, carbon dioxide doesn't go away. They might have been measuring it at surface level. So we still got India covered up, and the Indian Ocean billowing, and we've got stuff coming up in the Arabian Basin. Here's the Persian Gulf. Europe is blossoming, is turning black right here. And that, yeah, that's, France is right here, so France is getting some of it, but it's over here in Germany and these other countries. US is not looking good. It's blossoming as well. And now let's look at the global view. And we can see with the rise in the NOAA data, you know, so much in the last 3 weeks, you know, 13 point something in the last 3 weeks. That's insane. That's just insane. Now look at where my pointer is. We'll see the white thing. See? And it's big. It's a big area where it's coming up. Ooh, Ireland's really high. So, there's our methane. Now let's look at 500 HPA. So this will be equivalent to about the NOAA level. Yeah, see? It's all red. It's all bad up there. Total column. Yeah, see? It's all bad. It's still the highest over here. And You know, they still got, you know, they're still burning bodies and incinerating and everything, so whatever. So if you look at carbon dioxide, see, it's still the highest over here. Let's look at surface level just for the heck of it. Let's see. Okay, South America wins on surface level. So they were probably looking at surface level. Now let's look at, just for the heck of it, nitrogen dioxide. Now this, we have to run the movie. Let's go back. Yeah, it's already on today. So you got to run the movie to get the full effect, because it has to do with the sun. See? They still got the highest over there. So I don't know what they're talking about. I think it's disinformation. Just to, it's probably a campaign saying, oh, look how much better everything is in China since they had the Wuhan virus. Yeah, right. So much better. Let's see what ozone looks like. See, that's coming. Look, see, that's awful. That's probably from all that burning. Watch this. That's black. I've never seen it like that. And I've never seen these long lines of it before. Very high ozone. That's higher. That's up into, the highest reading is 600, and that's Dobson units. And so this is total column where it's all moving across. But look at this, where it's coming up. Look at how it's gathering. That's awful. No wonder I was feeling bad. Let's look at surface level. We can also look at carbon monoxide. See, I wasn't going to do this. That's surface level ozone. I wasn't going to get into all of this because I'm just so tired. But I am. See, carbon monoxide is, I mean, it's not off the charts, but it's high. It's like where the wildfires are burning in Africa. Not wildfires. Some of them are wild, but most of them are set. So we're going to leave all that. Let's go back to our slideshow, and we'll look at, this is sulfur dioxide from the globe today. So that large release on the west coast, the west side, yesterday, is just there. I didn't see any new today. The cloud is moving across the country. We still have a lot of sulfur dioxide over here from China and the usual stuff. Here's the Eurasia view. We can see it's high there. This is in Kazakhstan. Here's the Pacific view. Here's the North America view. Look at India. It's high over India. Here's the south, north. That was the North Pole view that we just looked. I said North America. That's how tired I am. This is the South Pole view. And we had 31 earthquakes in the Searles Ridgecrest Valley event area today. And we're back there. Now, I wanted to show one more thing. I get caught up. I was looking at this sulfur dioxide release yesterday. Oh, and look, it's releasing up here off the coast of Canada, and this is part of that subduction zone, and next to the Juan de Fuca plate. And this looks like a horse. See? That looks like a seahorse going across. It's the horse of the apocalypse. So, I'm going back to yesterday because I'm still just really kind of flipping out over the massive release of sulfur dioxide. Now see it was up here off the coast of Canada too. But not up. So I was mainly focused on this red, but if you look at the gold and the cream, and it's this whole area. And so I think the magma, I think it's more than Yellowstone. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm thinking it's a combo plate of Yellowstone and Mammoth Lakes and Ridgecrest, and I think the magma is just so close to the surface, and we've got so many earthquakes going. I think that a huge release just went off. That's what I think now. And I think I think something is about to blow big time. And here's where it came up at 500 HPA. And so is a lot of different areas where it's it's not just one spot. It's humongous. So I don't know. I think it's very serious, though. I think it's very serious. And then if we look at today, see that cloud has moved on over, and there's nothing over here. Here's Seattle area, but that's the cloud from yesterday that's moving over. And here it is, total column. So let's take a peek at earthquakes real quick. We've got 214 in the last 24 hours. And what I want to show you is this line of quakes in the Aleutian Islands, right on this red line, where the Pacific plate meets the North American plate. This has been just marching along, and we just had a 5.7 here at Amatignock Island, and that was at 4:31 this afternoon. And so they've been, and here's a 4.8 at Unasca Island. Here's a 4.5 at False Pass. So they're getting bigger as they're progressing. Now this one was at 6:11 this morning. This one was at 12:29 this afternoon. and then this one, so it's moving, this movement is to the west, and then this one is a 5.7 at 4:31 this afternoon. So it's not looking good. And then where we saw that sulfur dioxide release from Canada, it was right along here. And then here we have the US, and so that huge release I mean, it covered, it literally, well, the epicenter of it was this area here, but then there was a release total column that covered all the way around this area. So, and now we've got these two here on the fulcrum point of the Cascadia subduction zone that happened at 2.1 and at 2.7, and we've got these two up in Northern California at 1.9 near Mount Lassen, and this is a 2.5 that happened right next to Lake Shasta. There's a dam right down here, so right at the north end of Lake Shasta, and so Mount Shasta is, you know, it's near there, and that's a volcano. We've got these little clusters northwest of Reno. We've got 5 there. We've had all this stuff, but you know, it's just this constant shaking, and even though they're little, they add up, and eventually it blows open. Here's the Ridgecrest area. So I'm thinking that this is all, you know, Dutch Sense talked about, and some other geologists have talked about, that there's a new fracture zone being created that's going up from Ridgecrest up through Mammoth and up into, basically into the Reno area up to here. And so maybe we're seeing it forming. I don't know. Let's go back to yesterday. But the highest part is further east. But, and then this is Salt Lake right here. That's the highest part. But I'm surprised, you know, that nobody's really talking about this. So, you know, you can't have massive releases of sulfur dioxide like that, and we've had 3 this week. We had one on the 22nd, which was last Saturday, a week ago, and then a large one on the 27th, and then this one on the 29th yesterday, and we had that one on the 8th. So we've had 4 in February. So, I mean, that's, you don't have large sulfur dioxide releases without geologic activity going along with it of some kind. whether it's volcanic or earthquakes. So it could be a combo plate. And then this today, this line coming down here. And just out of curiosity, I want to see if we had there were not any earthquakes up here. This is where we saw the other sulfur dioxide release, right up here in Canada. Now, sometimes we do see earthquakes there, but that's at the north end of this Juan de Fuca plate, so we can expect to see something up here soon, I'm thinking. Alright. I'm going to read the Bible now and end this show and get this uploaded. We're on Isaiah chapter 30. Oh, hold on, I have to turn my little heater on. I'm getting cold. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Oh, and we had snow last night here in Reno. Just, a little bit. But it'd been up to 70 this week, and then we got a cold front and had some snow. So it's still winter time here. Okay, Isaiah chapter 30. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. For his princes were at Zoan, and his ambassadors came to Hanes. They were all ashamed of a people that could not profit them, nor be in help nor profit, but a shame and also a reproach. The burden of the beasts of the south into the land of trouble and anguish, from whence come the young and old lion, the viper and fiery flying serpent. They will carry their riches upon the shoulders of young asses, and their treasures upon the bunches of camels, to a people that shall not profit them. For the Egyptians shall help in vain, and to no purpose. Therefore have I cried concerning this. Their strength is to sit still. Now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever. That this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, See not, and to the prophets, Prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. Get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, Because ye despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon, Therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. And he shall break it as the breaking of the potter's vessel that is broken in pieces. He shall not spare, so that there shall not be found in the bursting of it a sherd to take fire from the hearth, or to take water withal out of the pit. For thus saith the Lord God, the Holy One of Israel, in returning and rest shall ye be saved. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength, and ye would not. But ye said, No, for we will flee upon horses, therefore shall ye flee, and we will ride upon the swift, therefore shall they that pursue you be swift. 1,000 shall flee at the rebuke of one, and at the rebuke of 5 shall ye flee, till ye be left as a beacon upon the top of a mountain, and as an ensign on an hill. And therefore will the Lord wait, that he may be gracious unto you, and therefore will he be exalted, that he may have mercy upon you. For the Lord is a God of judgment. Blessed are all they that wait for him. For the people shall dwell in Zion at Jerusalem. Thou shalt weep no more. He will be very gracious unto thee at the voice of thy cry. When he shall hear it, he will answer thee. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner any more, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers. And thine ears shall hear a word beyond thee, saying, This is the way, walk ye in it, when ye turn to the right hand, and when ye turn to the left. Ye shall defile also the covering of thy graven images of silver, and the ornament of thy molten images of gold. Thou shalt cast them away as a minstrel's cloth. Thou shalt say unto it, Get thee hence. Then shall he give the rain of thy seed, that thou shalt sow the ground withal, and bread of the increase of the earth, and it shall be fat and plenteous. In that day shall thy cattle feed in large pastures, the oxen likewise, and the young asses that ear the ground shall eat clean provender, which hath been winnowed with the shovel and with the fan. And there shall be upon every high mountain, and upon every high hill, rivers and streams of waters in the day of the great slaughter, when the towers fall. Moreover, the light of the moon shall be as the light of the sun, and the light of the sun shall be sevenfold, as the light of 7 days, in the day that the Lord bindeth up the breach of his people, and healeth the stroke of their wound. Behold, the name of the Lord cometh from afar, burning with his anger, and the burden thereof is heavy. His lips are full of indignation, and his tongue as a devouring fire. And his breath as an overflowing stream shall reach to the midst of the neck, to sift the nations with the sieve of vanity. And there shall be a bridle in the jaws of the people, causing them to err. Ye shall have a song as in the night, when a holy solemnity is kept, and gladness of heart, as when one goeth with a pipe to come into the mountain of the Lord, to the mighty one of Israel. And the Lord shall cause his glorious voice to be heard, and shall shew the lighting down of his arm, with the indignation of his anger, and with the flame of a devouring fire, with scattering, and tempest, and hailstones. For through the voice of the Lord shall the Assyrian be beaten down, which smote with a rod. And every place where the grounded staff shall pass, which the Lord shall lay upon him, it shall be with tabrets and harps. And in battles of shaking will he fight with it. For Tophet is ordained of old, yea, for the king it is prepared. He hath made it deep and large, the pile thereof is fire and much wood. The breath of the Lord, like a stream of brimstone, doth kindle it. Isaiah chapter 30. Wow. Well, we're here. We're living through this. And so the message today is to be still and to sit. Our strength is to sit still. We're supposed to sit still and to wait on the Lord and to not go following after false ones, because we'll be led astray. We're supposed to sit still and wait on the Lord. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for tonight. I love you guys. Time is so short, and I really hope everyone has gotten right with God and Jesus. So God bless you, and go in peace, and I'll talk to you soon. Good night.